Cheers to episode 127.
127. Holy
Water.
cow, we're up there. We're all doing the same thing. We're soft in the summer months. It's actually super hot and humid, so water's the best thing for you right now.
You know what makes it worse is I turn the AC off when I do this because it's really loud and I'm sweating.
It's been 5 minutes.
That's disgusting.
You might see sweat stains come through this light blue shirt by the end of this YouTube. Okay. Welcome into the number one sports podcast in the state of Michigan on a bi-weekly basis for the dull summer months. But this show is actually pretty jam-packed because I sent the show doc 2 days ago, and I feel like two pretty big stories have happened since then to add to the sheet. So, would you like to guess them, Alex? With the face you're making?
Jim Harbaugh's not news. CJ is not news either. So,
all right. So let's delete those from the sheet. No. Today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. It's 8:15 p.m. And even though Alex said it's not news, Michigan football has given us breaking news yet again in their offseason of turmoil, which happens every year under Harbaugh, essentially. So this show, to preview, we will discuss what's going on in our lives since we last recorded. I have a little section here for Oppenheimer because all three of us have seen it, and it is a hot topic along with Barbie. Evan, have you seen Barbie?
I have not.
Alex is the one that can speak to Barbie. I might see it this weekend, so Alex will not spoil it for anyone.
I don't know how you could possibly spoil that movie.
All right, that's interesting. I want to hear more. Harbaugh suspended, as well as some assistant coaches. Lions training camp, injuries, people that have stood out to you, etc. Okay, so I wrote down Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers. That might just get absolutely breezed through because there's not much, and we added the Michigan stuff. And then a snake draft is back. I think it's going to be a good one. Sporting events, the best sporting events in the world draft we will do. We will each draft 5 events for a total of 15 picks. The dogs like the draft. The dogs like the draft. Okay. Please subscribe to YouTube, rate and review the show. 5 stars wherever you are. Alex, you know the drill. What has happened in your life since we last recorded? That's worth sharing. That you're allowed to share.
It's worth sharing.
Nothing.
Well, I saw Oppenheimer and Barbie on the same night.
Good start.
We'll talk about those.
Barbenheimer.
I had Barbenheimered. I played the Majestic on Saturday. It was a nice course.
Where at?
Lake Walden in, can't remember the city or town. But nice course for one. 27 holes. Nice greens, fast greens. Good place. You get on a pontoon boat with your clubs and they drive you across the lake to the 10th tee. Pretty cool.
That is actually pretty cool. I was about to say that's unnecessary, but that does sound like a fun experience to do at least once.
Yeah, it was cool. You're just sitting on a pontoon boat at, for me, it was 8:30 because we teed off really early. But yeah, it's cool. So I did that Saturday. Didn't do much Sunday. The weekend before, I can't even remember that far back. Oh, it's Faster Horses. Was
it Faster Horses?
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
So I went to Faster Horses. It was fun. I don't have a lot to say about it. I don't know. It's the same as every year, really. Nothing too crazy happened this year that I could remember.
You subscribing to the general consensus that it took a little bit of a dip from years past, or did you not feel that way?
I think we still had fun, but you could just tell there was less people. It was a lineup that I had personally already seen. I only went to the concert one time, so yeah, maybe a little dip. Probably. The rain didn't help, but it rains every year, so I don't know. I'll let Evan speak on it.
odds you go again?
Depends on the lineup. Seems low.
Who's 1 to 2 names that would really be like, I'm in. Take my money.
I don't know. I'd have to see him to know.
You can't think of any name. Chris Stapleton.
No,
We know you like him.
That would not get me
You
there.
suck.
I wonder if he would do.
I like him. I just don't think he'd be a great performer.
I wonder if
You
he
don't know
would do
good music.
faster horses that you don't know good music.
I didn't say his music was bad, Evan. Just like, is that the guy that's going to get me out of my seat ready to go? No, personally.
Yes.
I think he could. And I'll make you
Would it
cry.
for you?
Yeah, some of
Like,
the songs.
so let's imagine the rest of the lineup is garbage. Like all Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam.
All Dwight Yoakam and Chris Stapleton.
I will go.
So
see
the
Chris
concert is a
Stapleton.
3-day concert of Dwight Yoakam and Chris Stapleton for the same price,
Awesome.
same
Just
everything.
every other.
You guys going?
Every other.
No, it's all Dwight Yoakam until the headliner, and then Chris Stapleton.
That's going to be a no from me.
There's no way, Evan. You're
I'll
gonna
be
go.
genuine. I'll be
No, I would
honest.
still go. So I wouldn't have to go until Chris Stapleton goes on. You don't have to go into the concert until the headliner goes on.
So you're gonna watch Chris Stapleton 3 nights in a row and be like, "Yeah, this is great."
Fuck yeah.
I'm a
He
big
put on a
Chris
different
Stapleton
performance
guy.
every single night. He would not put on the same performance. He played different songs every single night.
Have you seen him?
I have not seen him.
Oh, you're talking highly of him, and you've never seen him.
Do you listen to his music?
Yeah, it's good. It's
Maybe
not
Evan's-
very like get me going like concert level music for me personally.
The one I sent yesterday would get you going.
I didn't listen to it.
I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't.
I was
White
golfing.
Horse is
Because
very
you're
good.
that guy. Evan was golfing, I think, or was he not?
He didn't listen to it. I was with Evan. He did not listen to it
I
right in that
started
moment.
listening to it on Friday. I already listened to it like 7 times
Right.
before that, Alex.
Right.
Came out on Friday.
So yeah,
That's
I don't
true.
know. I don't know who would get me there. If you had a combination of Morgan Wall and Keith Urban and someone else, I think I would for sure be there.
Yeah, that will never happen. They don't
That would
have
never
kind of
happen.
cash.
But that would be a lineup.
And Nate
Evan?
Smith. If Nate
What would it
Smith
take-
goes,
are you
I'm
just
in.
going no matter what?
Yeah, it's live country music. I enjoy live country music and hanging out with my
Even
friends.
if,
Sorry,
like,
guilty.
The people are keeping repeats.
Zach Brown Band is an all-time performance. They sound identical to their music online. You
Agreed
listen to
there,
them
yeah.
on your phone or in the radio, it is the same exact live. They sound identical. They put
If
on a
it's
great
Shania
performance.
Twain twice next year and Dwight Yoakam,
Shania
you're
Twain-
still going.
No.
Those are the
Shania
3
Twain.
headliners. No, Shania Twain, Dwight Yoakam, and
Alex, you don't have to be negative Nancy because of one bad year.
I didn't say just because I said I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going doesn't mean I'm being
going.
negative and saying it's
I
bad.
see, I'm
It's
going.
Make the
I
commitment, Alex. Join
No,
your buddy
it's too
Evan and say
early.
you're in. I'm in.
I'm going.
I'm going.
Grant and I will be there.
Be on the right side of history, please.
We'll see.
Although, Evan, if it's like Miranda Lambert, I'm going to have to reconsider.
Oh, yeah. She's a bitch.
Did you see her get mad at that fan for taking a selfie?
Yeah.
Crazy. It's like she paid money to come watch you perform. Who cares what she does with her phone? Let her live.
True.
Anyways. Evan,
I
you're
enjoy
Faster
Faster
Horses.
Horses. It's live country
Faster
music. It's hanging out
Horse?
with Faster Horses.
I heard horse.
I heard a horse.
Okay.
Thursday was fun.
He's in a
Friday,
Chino Thursday. That should be notable.
Yeah.
What?
And then Friday, day
Tried to
drinking.
zen.
I'm at the point in my life where I don't know if I'll ever consume like more alcohol in the evenings than I did during the day. Like I'm past the whole night drinking. I have officially committed that I'm over it.
Officially.
Like you're just not going to drink at nighttime.
I don't know if I will. Like the tailgating, day drinking, pre-day in the middle of the day is just so much better.
It is better.
So much
but, like,
better.
you're going to have to drink at night sometimes.
Yeah, just like a couple here and there. Like I'm not going to drink as much as I do like during the day as I do at night. Like we used to.
Well, it's less time. There's less time
and
in
we
the
used to,
nightcap.
we used to do that where we just drink the same amount that we do throughout the entire day in a shorter period of time and at night.
Yeah, and it was fun.
I'm over that. But day drinking's so superior. It was just tailgating, having a good time, hanging out with friends all weekend. I still enjoy it. no matter what.
I still had fun, as I said. No one said I did not have fun.
I heard you hated it. I think he said that a couple minutes ago.
I
Well,
actually never said
He
that.
left on Sunday because he wasn't having as much fun. He said,
It was actually my mom's birthday brunch on Sunday that I had to go to. So
Alex has been known to
wanted to go to because it's my mother's birthday.
Whether because of his own choices or not, he's been known to miss parts of Faster Horses nearly every year, I think.
Not last year.
You didn't miss too much on Sunday, just the camaraderie and, hanging out together.
Well, you guys
No.
all miss Billy Currington, Shania Twain's duet. I'm sure it rocked the stage.
I saw Burry and Currington for the hour and a half before that, so I was good.
Everyone look up Party for Two. That's their homework for the listeners to go listen to that song after this. Or pause it right now and go listen.
Or don't.
So Fast Horse was good. Alex, anything else that you had in your life?
No.
We had golf league last night. We played each other.
Oh, yeah. We played golf last night. And
Who
Grant
won?
actually lived here for 3 days. We tied 15-15.
Alex won head-to-head. We were playing head-to-head, and I sucked.
I sucked too, but
Alex did not play.
sucked a
really
little
good.
bit less.
The summer of golf for Evans on
Not good
pause.
though,
or-
Alex. You had the big tournament this weekend.
I don't put too much stock into how I play on Mondays into my rest of my golf game.
feels like a
He's
chopped
not,
a raisin.
of course.
That's kind of mean.
No, I just
The raisin eats him up. He's just not a good golfer. Doesn't know how to act.
you caught me.
Ate me up last night.
Yeah, it is
so golf
funny.
with
You're
Alex
making all these
and
jokes,
Garrett.
and then you
Well, I
didn't
tell you
win
what, there's
yesterday.
going to be a very strong email right into our golf league of all the bad golfers need to get off the league.
Oh, wow.
Ridiculously slow.
Evan's rage last night reached a new high.
It's
Every tee
ridiculous.
box, Evan was screaming.
We were waiting on every tee box for more than 10 minutes.
It was a tough environment to play good golf in. There's no
Every
doubt.
tee box. Every tee box. Not like a couple holes where it's it's going to be slow. I can live with that. Not every single tee box.
That is bad.
It was actually every tee box.
I'd be scared
I
to
was
join the
screaming.
league.
I was
Evan
standing
was
on the tee
backwards
box
hat by hole
screaming.
4.
Yep.
Does that mean he's mad or just drunk or what?
He was at his handicap by hole 11.
I was at my handicap by hole
We started
2.
on 10.
Yes, hole 11. Started at 10. Hole 2. That's what happens when you pipe 2 out of bounds.
So message to the people of this league. Get better or get
Yeah.
gone.
Garrett and Alex are a fun time. It's always a good time. Since we had so much time to waste, just bullshit, camaraderie, another good time.
No
Let's see
big
what else
Garrett
happened.
moments that
No
those
big
classic
Garrett
like where you
moments.
laugh like Jesus Garrett, what's wrong with you?
Did he do the fireball bit again?
No, we didn't do any fireball. He
Or the
would
hot
have,
the hot damn thing?
he would have done the hot damn bit if it would have been fireball. But we didn't do shots.
I was laughing to myself listening back when I was editing, just picturing him doing that. Like, that's just his joke every time he takes
guess,
it.
I
It's
mean,
not even a joke. I think he just forgets. It's even worse.
Since a very committed listener, one of our longest listeners, we can say congrats to Gino on being a father.
Yes,
Congrats.
As his
congrats.
brand new
Wow.
daughter.
And congrats
Wow.
on the hole in one. Number 2.
No
He had
way.
shot a hole in one on Sunday, not on Monday in league, on Sunday the day before.
Yeah,
But
luckily, because he would have been
When was the
broke.
child born? Before that or after?
A week before.
Week
Wow.
before.
So like
2 weeks
new dad,
before, maybe.
new dad energy.
Dad, hole in one.
Wow.
And he
That's
bought us
it.
tequila shots last night. Shout out, Gino.
That could be the peak right there. Child.
Alex was impressed with me on my tequila shot.
Yeah, Evan took that like a champ. Usually he takes a tequila shot and it's like instant he's going to throw up. No, not really much of a reaction. I was impressed.
Yeah. Let's see. I've been super busy. Work, baseball. Other than that, I went to Western, the worst city that I don't like to be in. I just
Jeez.
despise that city. I find it.
That's how I feel about
in
Mount Pleasant.
Michigan. It just the roads are terrible,
It's better.
but I had a
They're both
fantastic
garbage.
time. Enjoyed my time there. Played Beer Olympics. Celebrated Cormac's birthday. Me and Connor were partners for Beer Olympics.
Evan, we
And
need
we
to
dominated.
discuss that you've posted on Instagram 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, change
Trying to get active.
Take a whole year off and then just start posting every
You
week.
just once a week, Evan posting
Yeah.
something about his weekend.
Yeah, you'll see me post tomorrow too, Alex.
What's tomorrow?
I just have something in my head about it. that I've wanted to post for a while. I've just been delaying it, and now
Are you gonna do one of those girl things where you're like, June recap, July recap?
no, absolutely not that.
July dump.
July
Actually,
Not
dump.
doing that.
I've always wanted someone to do that and
Melissa
just
did one
post
this
a picture.
weekend, didn't she?
No, I've wanted someone to do that though and post a picture of like poop somewhere in the slide.
Actual
Just
dump.
July
June
dump.
dump. Just put a turd. That'd be funny. That would be very funny.
Wow, influencer Evan. So when you're listening to
Yeah.
this, that post is gonna be live.
I'm really excited to see what this is. I have no
you
idea
should
what
do
it
that
is.
thing where you
It's
post
got to
like
be an
girls.
old picture.
Have you ever seen girls or influencers? They do the post and then they share it to their story, but then they put a sticker over it so it covers
Yeah.
it up and it says
Yeah,
like
so you
new
have to go
post.
to it.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
should
should
do
like
that
my
tomorrow.
posts.
You need to do that as a
Just
bit.
do it as a bit.
LMR, like my recent.
I didn't even know what that was.
Yep, like my recent LMR.
Youngins are getting in your head, Evan. I can tell.
I'm cultured, Alex. It's all.
It's because you have a Be Real, is it?
Be Real is awesome. I love doing my Be Real every single day. Love it.
Grant, are you
Love
on
it.
Be Real?
No, I've never been on, but I kind of watch it now just to see Evans.
Dude, it's so good every single day.
What was yours today?
Well, it hasn't been released yet today. So mine yesterday was me after I got home from golf. Me eating my Oreo bar.
Do you get like?
good
Do
stuff.
people like and comment Be Reals? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So it's like
Cormac
Instagram,
commented on
but
mine
it's
from yesterday.
instant
Yes.
and then goes away.
No, it doesn't go. Well, it goes away after the new one gets posted, and then you see that person, everyone on all your friends.
So if I went to your profile, I can't see all your pictures ever.
You cannot see all my pictures ever.
Oh, that would be fun to go look at your every single.
What if you
day,
miss a day?
Evan's
What
done.
happens to you?
If you miss a day, you just miss a day.
Spanked?
And then when you
They don't
go back
kick
and
you off the
look
app?
when you go back and look at your own profile, that day will have nothing on it. So like I can go back and from the first day that I started, I can look at every single one of my B-reels, what I was doing when I
Wow.
posted it.
That is cool.
And then so like the days that you miss, it's just blank. It has nothing on those days.
Grant, maybe you should Be Real.
LMR, be real.
Does Marissa Be Real?
I don't think so. I've never seen her do it. If she does it secretly.
I'm sure Evan would know if she had it Be Real.
Evan, like, is your circle tight on there? Like, do you post
Like, how many like do you have
embarrassing or
followers?
like
what
intimate
happens on
things? Like,
that?
if you're on the toilet
Just-
taking a Duke, do you just post it?
I post it. Luckily I've never been on the toilet where I don't.
Is it like you have to
it's-
take it within a certain time period, or like you can take it whenever?
Well, you have
want?
2 minutes to take your actual Be Real. And then after that, it'll show everyone that you're a certain amount of minutes late, and it'll post saying that you posted late. And like if you post on time, you can post multiple that day if you're on time.
Such a complicated app.
It's not really. It's super easy.
That was
Probably
a
the
joke.
easiest app to apprehend.
Can't say I'll be joining, but sounds exciting.
You suck.
Too busy on
Email's
threads.
awesome.
Catch me on threads. Actually,
I'm on
I'm not on
X
X.
Yes, I'm on X. Grant, how about you? What's new in your life?
I'm finally moved. Moving sucks.
Oh,
I think I've mentioned it before.
moving again.
Moving sucks in
And
general.
you're moving again next week, I heard,
Never do it.
because
No.
Mercer's already sick of you.
I'm done moving for at least a while and done driving U-Hauls. Those stink.
Oh, come on, those are fun.
There's definitely pros and cons. The pros I would tell you is that actually now I'm trying to think of pros. The cons come easier to my brain. There's not enough room.
Pros, none.
Pros, you're driving a big ass truck. You can honk the horn, people get out of your way. You feel like a
So
man.
if
driving
you
a
are an
big-ass
angry
truck.
person and you want to road rage, U-Haul is your
Sounds like I didn't do my driving
destination.
right. Oh, pros was the first one I rented. Had a backup camera. Cons was the
Ooh.
second one, did not have a backup camera. The first one I drove was a 10-foot truck, and the second one was a 15-foot truck, and the 15 one was a beast, an absolute beast. I backed it into our drive into Tecumseh, which you guys can picture, and I pulled so far in front of the driveway, being like, "Yep, this has to be plenty of room." Nope, tried cutting it. I had to redo it all because I was going to go into the bush right next to the driveway. It's just really can't even begin to fathom how much room you have to give yourself with a 15-foot truck. But got it done. The streets around here are not very big. It's very tight. People drive fast in nice cars. but we survived. It's done. Been doing some furniture shopping, which can be fun at times when you're in the mood for it. Can also be miserable if you like are tired of looking at everything and everything starts to blend together. And then you look at how much a couch costs. Couches are insane. We should get into the couch business. We should do Evan's baseball idea and couches, and we become billionaires. So currently going through that process because, as Alex has stated in previous podcasts, most of the furniture in our apartment was provided by Alex. So I did pick up some stuff. When I moved to Minnesota, I got a lot of stuff for myself. But now when you move in with a significant other with 2 bedrooms, you need more things to fill the space. Like Alex said, I lived with him for 3 days, I believe. 4 nights, 3 days.
Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night?
Wednesday night.
Oh, 4 nights.
4 nights, 3 days at Hotel Gillen.
Yeah.
On an air mattress. It wasn't bad. It was convenient. It was a little air mattress. That was the worst part.
I felt bad for you. Every time I walked by this room, I was like, wow, that looks terrible.
Kind of felt like a refugee of sorts. But it was good. A lot of we got right back into the habit of late night conversations that didn't need to happen. I think we went through so much Michigan State recruiting in one night. It was insane. I think we talked about Michigan State recruiting for like 3 hours. Alex just went down all of the recruiting classes, Evan. It was like, tell me if this guy's going to be good or a bust. And I didn't know like anything about these guys. And I just like, oh, he's good. Oh, he's a bust. He's like, what? He's a bust? Let me pull up his YouTube tape and change your mind. Like, Alex, it's like 10:30, dude. We got to go to bed.
No. You didn't watch highlights of the crazy 2007 college football season?
Oh my God. I watched that whole TikTok part 5 thing, 5-part thing you sent. Absurd. Grant, if you get bored,
I've watched it 3 times.
Send. Do you have a TikTok?
I'll write it down. Yeah,
I'm just gonna send you the one right now.
College football. We'll save the actual movie details for later. But I did go to the movie theater, and the only thing I have to add to it is showing up to a movie late is very
embarrassing.
Yes.
It was embarrassing for you when I saw you from across the aisle on the wrong side. I was like, oh my God, in a packed theater. Is Grant going to walk across this IMAX row?
Couldn't see my friends, and I realized I had to go to the other side because they were on that end, and then I ended up seeing them. But there was a real second there. I was like, I'm going to have to stand for this whole movie because I can't see where my friends were at. But being late, driving through traffic.
I thought you were just not going to come in. I really thought that.
Being in traffic, knowing you're going to be late to a movie is pretty stressful because you're thinking like, oh, what am I going to miss? Like, is the whole movie going to be ruined because I didn't see the setup? It's very stressful, but everything worked out okay. Enjoyed the movie. Did not do Barbie because I needed to get back. I did not have the energy to do that.
I got back at 1:30.
Oh. Jeez. And then the only thing I wanted to tie into the recap quickly was Alex's favorite golf tournament, the British Open, really was a letdown.
I thought we were going to avoid that.
But I did write down our picks and how they finished. I'll go with mine because I think mine was the worst. Dustin Johnson, my favorite, missed the cut entirely. Adam Scott was tied 33rd. Evans' team, Ricky, was tied 23rd, which is nice. And then Neiman missed the cut. So better than me because his favorite finished higher. And then Alex technically won. Still not impressive, though. Scotty Scheffler T23 and Minwoo Lee T41. So
Minwoo Lee finished T41.
Yeah.
And he was in the third to last group.
Yeah.
Jesus. What happened?
So he got the best of them.
The pressure of the Open on Sunday.
Pop bunkers. So
overall, I posted on Instagram. I thought he was in good spirits. He shouldn't be, it sounds like.
If I'm being honest, which I will be with our listeners always, I think I watched 10 minutes of this golf tournament, and I actually snuck away, not feeling like I missed a single thing.
I watched an egregious amount of it.
It actually is pretty nice to get back from work in the middle of the day and you still have 4 hours of it coverage on, and before you leave for work, you're watching it. That's kind of nice.
Watch it at work, it's just all day. It's
I can't watch it at work.
Right, I can't either.
Me either.
Actually work.
Oh, Evan, want to guess what Alex did for the Open?
What?
He bought all Liverpool food.
No.
He only spoke in the English accent
doing that.
for 4 days.
Correct.
Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, he set his alarm for 4:30 a.m. because he wanted to see Jordan Spieth start his round.
Did you get up for it?
Sue me.
He did get up for it, I believe.
Sue me.
I did not. I said I have no interest in waking up at that time to watch him tee off on a Thursday.
But did you like wake up and like just turn on your TV in your room, or did you get up and like?
I was just laying in
sit
bed.
on
I
the
just
couch?
turned the TV on.
Did you watch him one shot and then turn it off and go back to bed, or did you stay up?
No,
from
I just left
4:30?
it on and kind of like dozed in and out while watching. And then I was
And
locked in by like 6 a.m.
I get up and I'm trying to shower to get ready for my first week of training. Now it's like Jordan's 2 under. I was like, Alex, I could give
He was
less of
playing
a fuck
great. It
right
was
now.
exciting.
Like, I do not care. We are 3 holes into this tournament.
Whatever, dude.
All right. Let's hop into our first topic for the movie people. Dial in. If you haven't seen it, spoilers right now. Tune out. Skip forward to the Harbaugh Suspended timestamp. But we're going to talk about Oppenheimer right now. I think we should start.
We should start with prefacing that Grant's movie opinions are garbage, and everyone that listens to the show does know that. So please remember to not take anything Grant says seriously.
I think that's an unfair and disingenuous disclaimer.
I would
and
agree
warning.
that it normally that is disingenuous, but when every person agrees with that statement, I think it's a fair statement to make. When I don't know a single person that disagrees with the statement.
No, there's people out there that
No, there aren't.
don't just blindly follow you trying to be a cult leader of Grant has no taste.
No, everyone agrees with me.
It's just one of those things where one person says
People
it.
listen to this podcast and they think like, wow, Grant has bad movie opinions. Really
Sorry that
bad.
I'm not a sheep. Okay, I stand out. I don't just follow what the crowd wants.
It almost
you to
feels like
say.
you try to not like movies to try to be cool, and that makes you even less cool.
I don't.
It's
think I
like
do
you're in
that
high
at all.
school fighting for popularity again.
I just like what I like.
Yeah. Brain numbing movies that have no plot. That's what Grant likes. Shotgun
So-
Wedding. That's your favorite movie.
That movie did make me laugh. So you're saying Dark Knight, a Christopher Nolan masterpiece,
That's
has
the
no
only
plot?
good movie that you actually like.
James Bond.
You like high
Sandlot.
action or super stupid?
Evan, what I need from you is twofold. I need your rating of this movie, scale of 1 to 10, and what you liked and didn't like about this movie.
Okay. Scale of 1 through 10, I give it a 7.9 out of 10.
Nice.
I think it did a great job of. I think a lot of people was expecting it to be a lot more about like the actual bomb itself, and not more of a like biopic documentary about Oppenheimer.
That's so stupid.
Well, you gotta be open minded going in. I do like the casting of the characters. I think they did a phenomenal job, and I do like the back and forth. Like reality, non-reality, flash forward, flashbacks, PTSD, all that bad memory stuff. What I didn't like is I do like my action movies, Rand. I'm right with you. Like I need to get
I actually
along.
thought this about
There was a lot of names to keep track of, and like I will probably have to watch that like 2 or 3 times to keep track of all the names. Now, all the important names, I get that. Like that's easy. But like every little fine detail that you want to know about the movie and like be a movie head, and like because it's the most popular movie of the summer, I would say that was a little hard to get by. And I don't know if I would ever watch a 3 hour movie again starting at 9:00.
That sounds
That's
like
a fair
a personal
point.
problem.
Yeah, he gets into the sleepy
It was
zone.
a personal problem. It did get sleepy at the end.
Yeah, definitely not a movie you can watch high. I'm trying to picture if I would watch this movie high, I'd be so lost.
That's really
You
any
could.
Christopher Nolan movie.
It'd be a
that
different.
you
It'd be a
would
different
struggle
experience if you watched it
didn't pay
high.
attention.
Might be more fun. You might laugh a little bit more.
I laughed a lot, which was one of my notes. I was
There were
surprised at
some
how much I laughed
funny,
in this movie.
Funny items.
Evan, when Einstein's hat kept flying off, did that not make you chuckle?
No, not really. It didn't.
I thought it was really
Because I saw it in
dumb.
the trailer, so I knew it was coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that little part of his hat flying off was in the trailer?
It was.
Yeah, because like in the trailer, the hat flies off and he turns and looks, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, somebody's playing Albert Einstein."
So a little backstory. I agree with. I'm going to touch on your points. My backstory that I'm going to throw it to Alex because I want to get his thoughts. Was So I sit down because I get there late. I'm all frazzled, and like our whole row of guys is just pretty quiet. Like I'm thinking because I like to like kind of look at the people I'm next to and see how they're kind of feeling about the movie. I was just dialed in because I was overstimulated about being late and just wanted to get into my popcorn and get all settled.
Yes.
So no one like I didn't look at anyone. Hunter was right next to me. I wasn't really like looking at his reaction. Everyone's dialed on the screen because it's a huge
dude,
movie.
You shouldn't have sat next to Hunter. He's the biggest movie head I know. So probably the wrong.
I've
person
now
to sit
gone to
next
2 movies with Hunter, or 3. Yeah, that guy's dialed into movies.
I was like afraid
every
to-
movie.
I was afraid to like interrupt his flow, but I had some peanut butter M&Ms. I was like, "You want some?" And he did. So I was like, "All right, yeah, we're moving along here." But what happened is that there was a scene in the movie where there's some sex happening, and it's when why are you laughing now? Stay with me. It's when she has him read that foreign language book while doing it, and he like says destroyer of worlds, and they just cut to the next scene, and like the theater's dead, like in a shock of what they just watched, and I just like leaned my head down the row like this and like had this
That was
giant
funny.
grin on my face, and everyone started laughing. I was like, all right, good, like we can at least acknowledge that was an absurd scene that we just saw.
Great
a wild
scene, actually.
a wild scene.
Good
So
cinema.
that was one funny anecdote. Alex, score of this movie, what you liked and what you didn't like.
8.8. That's my official final rating now that I've had some time to think about it.
To digest.
Oh
You sure that's not Barbie's rating?
no.
Yeah, twisted.
I'll give my Barbie rating when we get there. Do you want me to give my Barbie rating now while we're on it?
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 5.2.
Oh no. Okay. Back to
It's
obvious.
because you didn't dress up. You didn't get into it. That's why.
Yeah.
Right.
You kind of look like Ken.
Probably because I had seen a 3-hour movie right before it, but anyways.
How did you stay away for that? I would have fallen asleep.
And McCrate was in a suit.
I honestly have no idea how I didn't fall asleep. I think it's because I was uncomfortable. Anyways. Acting I thought was superb. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I just enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed, like Evan said, jumping all over, like in the time periods. I like movies that like they're in the present, but they're talking about the past. I've always liked movies like that. I'm not sure why. Things I did not enjoy. I hate black and white.
Oh.
Like that's just
Okay.
something I just don't like at all.
A strange nitpick, but fair.
I get why they did it. It's fine. It's just something that personally I'm already color deficient. I don't need black and white. I need something. Let's
All right,
just-
Alex, I've heard
I
2
see.
stories of this movie. I heard one that most of it was based off of a book that was already written about Oppenheimer. That's what it was. 2,
Mhm.
I heard that all the black and white scenes are like actually factual, down to the bones, as truthful as possible, and like the color scenes are
Or
more,
dramatized.
like, dramatized for a little bit, but there's some truth into them. But like the black and white scenes with Robert Downey Jr. like actually all happened.
Well, that makes
Interesting.
it interesting, I guess. Listen, I'm not
I don't know
mad
if
they
it's true
did
or not.
black and
That's
white.
just, hey,
It's just a personal thing where
that's what I'm hearing.
like I can't watch black and white TV shows that are old from like the 50s.
You're not
'cause it's
watching
black and
westerns
white.
anymore.
No, because I don't.
Well,
I
you would
don't-
not
I like
get
color.
along you would not get along in the Cadmus household.
So black and white is a gripe, and then the build up to the like actual testing of the bomb was like an incredible build up. Like I think everyone in there was like on pins and needles, like flipping out, like what's gonna happen. And it was just kind of like I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting the theater to blow up, basically. Like that's how the build up was. And then it.
I don't want to derail you, but I did have like doomsday thoughts because you remember when The Dark Knight got released?
Dude,
and
I
there
had the
was a theater
same
shooting?
thought in the movie theater. Same.
I'm glad I wasn't
during that
alone.
movie. I thought about that.
I was like,
Evan's
what
being
if
real.
someone like planted a bomb?
The graduate might be real.
So, anyways, it was building up. I was like, oh my god, like heart's pounding, like this is gonna be crazy. And then no sound when it went off. And I was like, oh, like, and my first reaction was like, did someone back there who's like in charge of operating this movie fuck up? Like something happened. Yeah, I was like,
The intern.
they're gonna, and then I was like, oh, they're just gonna do like a delayed like sound, and it kind of killed the suspense for me a little. That's just a personal gripe again.
Not me. Opposite. My suspense
tell
and
you-
heart rate was so high because I was so nervous that my eardrums were going to blow out when the
I
sound
was
finally
nervous
hit
about
us.
it.
I was so
like-
scared.
So you
tell
were
you
like
what,
relieved.
Yeah. Once I heard it, I was like, okay. Oof.
I'm with you guys. I wanted more of a shell shock. I wanted it to.
I wanted to
blow my
like
dick off.
erupt. Like
Yes.
I wanted it to be
Also,
fucking crazy.
My biggest gripe with the movie is I hated that Josh Peck was in charge of the button.
Dude, same. They just couldn't
Yes,
take it
thank you.
serious. That was my next
I
one.
couldn't.
I was like,
the first
there's
time I
no
saw him,
way
I was
this
like,
guy.
dude,
It threw me off. It's
It's
dumb, but it's so true.
you
I
only
thought
in it
the
for
same
about 5
thing.
minutes, but 4 of the minutes, like he could abort the bomb, and we all know they tested out there, so we knew eventually it was going to drop. But why do we have to see the camera cutting back and forth between Oppenheimer people and Josh Peck just staring at them? No, I don't care.
A quick pivot off that, because the other gripe I had with the character, the hockey player Sean Avery, I think he's like good friends with Christopher Nolan. He was the guy that had the small role in the trench coat that kept telling them updates about the weather when they were trying to plan out when to do the bomb. He had like 10 lines maybe, but he was the one talking about the radar. And he's just so bad at acting because he's a hockey player and he's trying to become an actor. And I thought forcing him because he's Christopher Nolan's friend into like that scene and the acting was so bad. It just irked me. But that's a small minor thing that I only know that because I used to listen to his podcast back in the day and he would talk about trying to get into acting and how he could get in small roles in these movies. I was like, holy shit, Sean Avery's in this movie. And I was like, oh, but he's really bad at acting. So
I didn't even
just
notice
irked me.
that.
If you
I
ever
didn't
watch it
notice
again,
either.
you'll notice it.
And then my final gripe is just, it's a long movie. It's probably like a little longer than it needed to be, but 8.8 out of 10.
6.2 for me, probably the lowest. It
Not
is
probably.
the lowest of the three of us. It is. I wonder
It's the
if anyone
lowest
else
of
has a
all our
lower
friends.
score out there in the country. Maybe. Acting really good. Is his name Cillian Murphy? Is it with a K?
Yes. Yeah.
He should definitely win awards. I saw a lot of. I saw a couple tweets, not a lot. I saw a couple tweets in a vacuum about how Robert Downey Jr. should definitely win Best Supporting Actress or Actor. I wasn't blown away by his performance. I
thought he was really good.
I thought Cillian Murphy, obviously really good. To Evan's point with the 3 hours and to your point, I wrote down it was one of those movies where I felt myself thinking, when is this going to end? As opposed to, wow, that 3 hours flew by. Which has happened in some movies. You get so lost in the sauce, you're like, holy cow, this movie's actually done. I want more. This was like, when's this going to end? The lead up to the bomb test was amazing. That was, if it was just that movie and we ended after the test and then we just got like a little cut scene of them dropping it on Japan, then I think it would be.
That's not what the movie's about.
Well,
The movie's
quite
not about.
literally,
Everyone's like biggest gripe is like, oh, we didn't get to see Japan get nuked to shreds. Like that was never going to be in the movie.
I didn't know that. How was I supposed to know that going in? I'm watching a movie about the guy who created the atomic bomb that got dropped, and we didn't get to see anything about it.
Oppenheimer, Robert Oppenheimer, not about bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
But that's the biggest. That's like
Also,
the biggest.
why did Robert Downey
consequence.
Jr. say it so wrong? Hiroshima. Is that how you're supposed to say it?
I thought it was Truman that pronounced it. Wasn't he like Nagaski or something? He said it really wrong.
Also, the scene of the president talking, that was in black and white. Now that I think about it, wasn't it?
Nagasaki or something. I don't know. No, that was in color because I remember seeing his brown wooden desk.
Yeah, dramatization. Because there's no way the president was just like, fuck off, Robert.
The lead up to the bomb test was phenomenal. If it had like cut off a little bit after that, it would have been at least an 8 for me. I thought the build up was the Los Alamos, seeing how that was created was awesome. His escapades with the Communist Party was awesome. Him at the Cal Berkeley or whatever college he taught at was awesome.
Dude, it was a great movie. You're just talking me back into moving my rating up.
I think my favorite side characters were like the little side quantum physicists. I think those were like
Those
the best
nerdy
supporting
dudes.
roles. Yeah. Yeah.
Emily
It's just
Blunt, she's pretty.
post bomb test dove off a cliff. really
Dove
couldn't have
off a
cared.
cliff.
I could not. Well, yeah, and the fact that like the build up to the bomb actually being dropped, you just hear this really staticky radio announcement. I mean, I guess they're trying to make it feel authentic to what they felt like. They worked so hard, it gets taken away from them. They have no control, and then they just hear it go off one day. I just wanted
They didn't
more.
have
I
TV,
wanted some
Grant.
action.
There's no recording of the bomb. They didn't show it on Fox News for everyone to start cheering. That's not how that works.
Up to bomb test 8, post bomb test like a 4. I just really could not wait for that court case to get over. I just didn't care about the court case whatsoever.
It's part of his life.
No, I get that, but it's also a movie, and everyone's like, I keep getting told this refrain that it's his life, it's about him, but it's also a movie, so they could have gone crazy. What they could have done when the bomb test happened, they could have faked it all and been like, yeah, it did like end the world, and then we live in a post-apocalyptic era with Oppenheimer zombies, and that's how the movie ends. Now that would have been something.
Congrats. You just proved that you have the worst fucking movie takes of all time. With that line that you just said made it official that Grant can't watch movies that require thinking. He can't.
Imagine that though, how riveting that would be.
It would be so stupid. It would be so stupid. It's not surprising you said that. You proved it for this audience.
Not as dumb
I
as
appreciate you saying that.
Batman when they take over Madison Square Garden and he jumps down into like a body of water with like a electrician.
You're talking about
glove or
Evan's
whatever.
a top 5 movie for Evan all time.
I'm just saying, movies are kind of fun when they just get crazy. Like it just gets ridiculous.
You're so fucking stupid. I can't believe you said that.
Well, I did.
Oppenheimer's zombies walking around is what you just said in a post-apocalyptic era. This is based on a true story, Grant.
Yeah,
not a Grant fantasy
It's
land.
a movie though.
Go see Zombieland if you're bored.
Or like the Lincoln Vampire movie, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, classic.
Get the fuck out of here!
I've never watched that movie, and I never will.
No, it's actually not bad. It's not a bad movie.
No one's taking your recommendations, I promise.
People will go to bat for that movie. It's not that bad.
No, they won't. I've never even heard of this movie before.
Look it up. It's Abraham Lincoln, and he kills vampires. It's electric.
Never heard of the movie, Alex, but yeah, it is.
It's electric. Another laughing matter. Jim Harbaugh suspended 4 games.
Wow.
Well,
against
no,
4 really good opponents.
It hasn't actually happened yet, if I believe it's just the sources are saying it's going to happen.
Evans JV led, or what would you coach? 8th grade offense that couldn't score points. One of those kids could coach the team in those 4 games and they would win.
Can I say one thing? And you guys are going to you're going to be like, boo-hoo, Grant. East Carolina is not bad. East Carolina is not bad.
Based on?
They almost beat NC State last year in the opening game.
So based on something that happened 365 days ago? Or, well, it will be 365 days ago when it starts?
Yeah, and I watched
with different players and different everything.
Yeah, but you have to factor in that Michigan's not going to have their head coach or offensive coordinator or, tight ends coach isn't a huge deal in game day.
What does that matter?
Your OC and your head coach are out. So someone who's going to call
plays. They could run the ball every single play and win 48-0. And you know it. So don't be dumb.
My Kool-Aid stance, and I think also reasonable stance if you actually step back and view it. You can make jokes about it. That's what rivalries are for. But it is ridiculous that it came to this. There's so many more things wrong in the NCAA than getting upset that a coach didn't want to comply with your stupid investigation about cheeseburgers. And he was like, oh, I didn't do that. And they're like, no, now we're going to take you to the fullest extent of the law.
Why couldn't he just comply?
Because he doesn't have to, because they're hypocrites and everyone knows that. And he stood up to him and said, you're not investigating me about a cheeseburger when there's actual other fraud, way worse, going on at different schools. But
East Carolina lost at home to Houston 42-3 in November.
Houston also really good. Coach Holmgren.
Really good.
What am I at that point?
Cheeseburgers, NCAA is corrupt.
I kind of forgot that this investigation was going on. So it was kind of surprising just to see it drop today. Because I remember when talk of it was happening, it would have been a couple months, and it was like, oh, they actually are going to do this. It's a little absurd that Mike McDonald also got in trouble when he's in the NFL, and that if he came back to college, he'd have to sit out. So they're just really petty about that. But again, they are like dictators, and they don't have anyone checking them. So what do your eyes get big about?
Oh, I'm in a deep dive. I went to East Carolina, then I went to Houston. Houston lost a game last year at SMU, 77-63.
Wow. Electric.
Which is just crazy.
I think my hope from this is that similar to how Tom Brady used Deflategate BS suspensions to fuel him to Super Bowl, that we will get scorched earth Harbaugh, feeling embarrassed and pissed off that they actually suspend him for 4 games, and they will go. I mean, they should be good anyways, but I think this could be that little extra motivation you need in college football to get over the hump that they can't get over. That's what I'm going to tell myself as being good. But it does.
This changes nothing.
It's not good. It's not good to miss 4 games. I don't think it makes things better. My only spin zone I can think of is that spite angle, which I hope happens.
Isn't he going to coach all week, though? He just can't coach in the game.
I don't think we know
yet. You're
not
not leaving Ann Arbor for those 4 weeks. And you play 3 horrendous teams and 1 Big Ten team that is horrendous. So, yeah, you'll be fine. You honestly shouldn't give up a single point.
Alex.
If you're the real
I don't
deal.
really have anything to add. Like you said, Grant, I think it was just the NCAA. Nobody has to check him. I think they were more pissed off that he didn't want to comply and he lied to him. So I think that's why he's getting suspended, not so much for the actions. It is another black eye, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, Urban Meyer got suspended in the beginning of 1 year.
Yeah.
And I think it's now that your opposing fans, Ohio State, Michigan State fans, are making a big deal just because you guys don't have a real big non-conference game. If you have a big non-conference game, I think it would be a little bit more, but now we just make fun of your schedule more than anything, rather than just what actually happened.
The middle two don't concern me.
Nothing. That's what it is.
The middle two don't concern me at all.
The first one should not concern you. I
still feel comfortable that they went off 4.
You're not scared of Ricky White game again?
UNLV.
No, because I think their roster is really depleted. I don't know enough about them.
But
I was reading a preview of every
game still.
And then we'd be nervous for sure. But I think if you're talking about percentage, if you're like Michigan had a 90% chance to win the game going in, it probably bumps it down to 85 or 80 depending on people. Yeah, I mean, it's your head coach and your offensive coordinator missing the first game. Those are really 2 important pieces to a football
against
team.
A team that isn't good, though. That you were already
almost
projected
beat
to win
a Power
by
5
70.
team.
A year ago, Grant, in an opener.
I'm not excusing a loss if it were to happen. I'm just saying it makes me feel a little bit more nervous. I'm curious to see what the operation looks like without two of the most important people in the coaching staff off the field. And then
who's going to be in charge of those days?
It's a great question. He's suspended, Alex, for the first game.
He's your OC now?
Yes.
Wasn't he co-OC?
Yeah.
I bet you it's Mike Hart. I guarantee it is.
It has to be. Yeah. Who else would
it'd be Mike Hart and
Clink
then
scale.
I guarantee it's Mike Hart.
He's probably interim head coach and because he's running back and run game coordinator, so he has less probably game day responsibilities. And then they'll let the DC do his thing, and then I don't know who calls the offense. I don't know.
Offensive line coach
JJ McCarthy. Handoff left, handoff right.
Well,
handoff left.
Moore is also the offensive line coach and the co-OC and the OC.
Oh.
So first game will be weird, but I think
who's your co-OC last year?
The guy that got fired,
computer hacker.
Oh,
Weiss,
the
Matt
child
Weiss,
pornography kid,
and access to computers.
Child pornography. We don't know actually because no one would report on it.
You can't
I haven't
just
said
say
it
that.
first.
There's a chance.
But I remember
there's a chance.
It was very vague, but there were some details where they kind of ruled out the really bad stuff. They were just more he was.
It's a shame that the Detroit Free Press wouldn't do any digging and try to figure it out and report it to the news.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
it's
they want to
their
keep their
job.
credentials.
You tell me
Right.
Detroit Free Press not doing their job again when it comes to the blue wall.
No,
Alex?
Evan, they
No,
always do their
never.
job. They always
Oh,
do
In
their
a
job
way,
to
they
the
are
fullest.
doing they're doing their job. That's part of their job
Their
description
job
is
is
protect.
to make Michigan seem like the greatest place in the world. The University of Michigan. Excuse me.
And then
What a crock of shit.
what am I? Oh, the first Big Ten opener has been tough for Michigan. Both the last 2 years, they almost lost to Rutgers 2 years ago, and then they came down to the wire with Maryland. So
You don't have everything in. You don't throw everything out there. You play your fundamentals. You probably play vanilla.
Grant,
Everyone's typical.
it should be okay, but it makes me more nervous about the two of the games.
you had
I
a
can't sit here and
100%
lie
chance
to you.
of going 4-0, and now you have a 99% chance of going 4-0. So just
That's not
relax.
Yeah, you want 100. And not to make matters worse, that means his first game back is going to be at Nebraska, probably prime time. Place is going to be
Which
rocky.
you told me that there's no reason you guys don't blow them out. So
Before it was now it's going to be his first game. We all know this that coaches fuck up a lot.
We're already deciding that we're backtracking from something you said last Wednesday.
How is it backtracking, Alex, when new information has been presented?
So you don't expect Michigan now to walk in to Nebraska and win handily by double digits, as you said last week, even though
I
all
feel-
your coaches and all your players, assuming no injuries, will be there?
I feel worse about it. I don't feel as good about it. I feel like he'll make a couple of mistakes because it's his first game coaching of the season. And I know even though you've been in the business a long time, like coaches still need to find their groove with each team. So he might mess things up, like how he handles kicking or special teams. You kind of need to feel, I'm sure he'll obviously watch all the tape from the games, but it's different when you're in the seat making the decision. So there could be some first game mistakes.
There is a Detroit Free Press headline that you should be worried. How will
Why?
Michigan beat Rutgers now? Question mark, exclamation point. I think them making fun of it. I think
That's
we're
kind of
getting
mean
to
to
that.
Rutgers.
I'm not
I just
reading
hope-
the article
hope
because I
that
don't support
it's
this
used as
company.
motivation and they don't slip out and mess up. Okay. Staying in football, Lions training camp is underway. They also traded for Denzel Mims. Did either of you have any thoughts about Denzel Mims becoming a Lion?
No.
Contract year. We didn't give up anything for him. We flip-flop picks, and there was something about it I saw today that if he doesn't make the roster, then we get our pick back.
Yeah,
or something
true.
like that. So
I
it's
do think
literally
we'll make the
nothing.
roster though.
They were going to cut him. Line stepped in. Bang for your buck. I mean, he's a top talented guy in 2020. Take a chance. See what happens.
There's
Obviously,
no harm.
somebody in the organization somewhere thought that we could do something with him and see how he does, and let's do it. And we took
I'm
a
sure Ben
chance on
Johnson
DJ Chark.
appreciates speed.
Yeah. Khalif Raymond has a role on this team. I think Denzel Mims
Whoa.
could.
It made it seem like you don't think Khalif's very good.
I feel like he's very good for the Detroit Lions. If you want to
Special teamer.
I don't think he would be very good.
Fair.
I like it. I mean, I like the front office being proactive instead of being passive and be like, no, we got our guys in house.
I do like that. I like the mindset more than maybe
Take a
I don't
chance on
love
the
the
kid. Let's see
player,
what
but I
happens.
like it. Yeah.
And
the
you
old,
never know depth, and like if he doesn't make the 53 roster and he's on a practice squad somewhere, and like injuries pile up in the NFL, okay, now you have somebody that knows the offense can come in, probably step in.
Absolutely. He could be like, and he's got Marvin Jones to learn from, kind of like a outside wide receiver.
Injured.
So that's good. Injured right now, yeah, too. So maybe he just
Barely. He'll be
he's
fine.
competition to the room.
Everyone's fine.
He's a seasoned vet. He doesn't need to show up for the training camp in the first 2 weeks, anyways.
Agreed.
Speaking of injuries, we almost lost CJGJ. Heart sank.
You can't say we almost lost him when we had no
Alex, he
idea.
got carted off.
That doesn't
Alex.
mean we almost lost him.
Alex, you're wrong.
Alex, he
You
went
were
into-
I got
100%
carted
wrong.
off the gym floor in 7th grade, and here I am just fine. After Sarah Shoot
You're
ran
not
me
fine.
over, and Evan said,
You get carted
You're gonna
off. You
need
got carried
stitches.
off into a chair.
You're
In your
not
head,
fine.
You needed stitches.
it did
You've
need
never been the
stitches.
same.
No, super concussed.
We almost lost him. Whenever you see non-contact carted off didn't look good, you immediately think ACL season done. Like
Yes.
that's what we were trained as
listen,
football
I
fans.
sent the text first before Evan did in a different chat, and I said
No.
season's over. So I said the same thing Evan did. before he did, but I backtracked because I
was
overreacted.
super sad.
I was super
Alex, I was
disappointed.
working. I can't be on my phone 24/7 while I'm at work, and so the
It wasn't
first notification I
24/7.
read,
I sent it like 10 minutes before you did.
the first notification I read was Gardner Johnson carded off, and that's instantly sent the next test message.
Yes, agreed. I did the same thing. I read half the tweet and sent it.
Alex,
Like,
especially when he is like our
He's a
top free
luxury.
agent signing.
Brian Branch.
He's the alpha dog on that defense that's going to make us a lot much better. You don't want to see your new shiny toy get broken on the first
No
day.
one is disagreeing that like we didn't want to see that happen. Good news, guys. He's okay. He's fine. Dan Campbell said he might be out a couple days. That's what he said today.
Which
So he's fine.
my brain that's afraid to be hurt. Like I'm still weary. Like I don't know how we went from season over to no, he's actually like gonna be fine. He's totally okay. I'm gonna trust him. I don't think
we
they're
just
lying,
did
but
overreact. That's what everyone else did that was there. They probably overreacted. And he probably got scared himself and in the moment overreacted. Because that's what people do. They overreact all the time about everything. So just relax, Grant. Take a deep breath. He'll be fine.
my favorite player
He'll be
on
fine.
defense is good to go,
Aiden
which feels
Hutchinson.
good. CJGJ.
Wow. Big step for you.
You knew that. I have his card. I have his rookie card. I've been a CJGJ guy before it was even cool.
Yeah, but you said like you cream your jeans over Hutchinson.
Yeah, it's actually on my list for things I'm keeping my eye out for in training camp is, quote, anything cool Hutch does. I'm all over it.
It's disgusting.
Anything else?
Did you write
you
that
guys,
down?
Yeah, because I wrote down some things I'm looking for in camp, and one was anything cool Hutch does.
I have something cool.
Okay.
Amonra caught 6 touchdowns in 10 snaps today.
That's
in
pretty
red zone
cool.
drills.
That feels good for Evan's jersey. Evan, you might have to sell that
Bad
jersey
for our
for a
defense.
profit.
If I get that signed, dude, I'm making thousands.
Yeah, that might be selling it short. You might make 10K.
You guys think he'll be like, the greatest receiver of all time in the history of the world?
He's certainly the most jocked. I mean, he's absolutely ripped to
Gonna
shreds.
be probably the second
Evan,
best
that was a
wide
joke
receiver
question.
we ever watched.
Does he have the best physique in the NFL?
Well, he's been working out since he was a 9-year-old, like lifting as much as we do now as a 9-year-old.
Like, we know the backstory, Alex. The question, I think, is a valid question.
I don't try to find a bunch of shirtless pics of NFL players and compare. Maybe you do, but
either.
I'm not.
You
I'm not
just
sure.
pray-
I'm not
can't
familiar with as many physiques as maybe you are.
Well, so
I don't
off
know
the top
what
of
you
my
do in
head,
your free
obviously,
time.
most people would say either Aaron Donald or Nick Bosa would be the two that would come to mind because Nick Bosa's quads are the size of most people's heads, and Aaron Donald is just the most physically
I would
freakish
assume
player.
Saquon's in good shape as well, if we're talking quads.
But the thing that almost separates Amon-Ra, which I think it's a fair debate, is because he doesn't have their intangibles of height. Like Bosa is very tall. Donald is like heavier set and has molded himself to be big. Amon-Ra is like a smaller slot receiver and just looks absolutely jacked. It's insane what he has built his physique to. Like how big his arms are for his stature and what position he plays.
I did not expect a 5-minute sidebar on Amon-Ra's physique, but here we are.
I just simply can't get over it whenever I see it. I'm like, geez, that guy's absolutely
Get on his
jacked.
regimen.
You too
It
someday
is.
can get look like that.
I might print out a picture and just like tap it as I leave every day or take it with me to the gym.
Tap it.
Yeah, like, go be great today. Play
Evan-
champion today.
Evan gets it.
Evan, did you see anything or are you looking for anything on a Lions training camp?
I'm watching. Which one
Sheila.
do I want to say?
Evan did say something on the golf course yesterday about something.
Said something about
It
something.
might be. Well, we'll talk about it in the next Lions segment.
Literally the next thing, how stupid it is. All Lions fans are idiots when the draft was up, when the draft and it's giving me satisfaction. What's
Evan
happening.
hates Hendon Hooker is all. That's all.
Oh, Teddy
I'm
B.
watching. I would say I'm watching the 2 Iowa players. I'm watching the Hawkeyes trying to score a touchdown in Kinnick Stadium. I'm watching Sam Laporta and Jack Campbell. They want starters. See how they perform in training camp.
I listened to like the POD that they do good work for the Lions, and they're at camp every day. Yeah, we can't get credentials yet, but they're holding the water for us. They were hyping up Laporta, saying that he basically is already the number 1 tight end, and he looks really good yards after catch, and he's always open for Goff. Good. So, haven't seen much about Campbell yet.
He's our best tackler on the team, according to Madden. He hasn't played it down in the NFL.
Thank you, Madden. Yeah, because I wrote down, will Jack Campbell get similar buzz to Malcolm Rodriguez? Because Rodriguez was the hot thing last year because of Hard Knocks and everything. I'm wondering if we'll get that same feel from Campbell, or if it'll be more of like a... No, we do, though. We have reporters there.
Yeah, but it's way different when you're watching it on TV and they're in their meeting room and the linebackers coach is blowing his wad over Malcolm Rodriguez. It's a little different. We're not going to get that. No reporter is going to be like, yeah, I was in the linebacker room today during film because they let me in for some reason. And then they're going to report. That's never going to happen.
Holy fuck. Turn on the Tigers game, Grant.
What?
They just came back from like a 4-run deficit in the 9th. Torkelson just hit a ground rule double to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th.
Dude, that's sweet. Thank God I bought Belly Sports Plus.
I'm waiting for that you to share your login with the world.
Ooh, it's 6-6, bottom 9th. All right, I got to focus. 7 games that's going to be a walk-off. Alex.
My weekly check.
2 types of people in the world. Evan, who wants you to watch a good baseball game. Alex goes, 7 games back. Another thing I'm looking at that I'm here for is the Jahmyr Gibbs running back versus wide receiver debate. It sounds like when it's running back indie period, he's with them, but any time that balls are being thrown from the quarterbacks to skill positions, he's over there with them. And he's just catching Jared Goff is slinging him passes left and right. So I love seeing that. That's what we drafted him to be. He also did the little ladder drill with quick feet, and boy, do his feet look quick. I'd have to compare him side by side to someone else, but he looks really good at that drill, which that's what we're grasping for right now on July 25th is how good Jahmyr Gibbs looks in between the nets. I had 3 other things that I can fly through quickly unless anyone has one they want to hear. So they're just little notes to think about when you're watching
Fire
things.
them off. Go ahead.
What are we, 2 days into training camp?
No, this is what I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for these things.
Today was day 3, actually.
I'm curious to see how Aaron Glenn versus Deuce Staley. Now that Deuce isn't there, I want to see if there's still some like chirping. Like who's going to be it's not going to be Ben Johnson. There's no way Ben Johnson chirps Aaron Glenn. I want to know who that coach is going to be that keeps it competitive or keeps it fiery, or does that just kind of go away and they just
Staley.
Yeah, because that was a big part of Hard Knocks, and it was almost kind of too much sometimes.
You're not going to see this stuff.
Scotty, yeah, no, I think you'll see clips. I think the Lions social media team knows people love that from last year, and they'll give us a little bit of like chirping between guys. I think they're savvy. They know.
No.
If they can ever get inside the den out, they will see it.
I thought this week.
I think it is. I think it's Thursday.
In the draft class.
Goff, his chemistry with J-Mo. I'm looking for that because there was problems with that in minicamp. I want to see what it's like in training camp. We don't have to worry
about it for 6 weeks.
Injured today.
No, we do need to see it though. Yeah, Alex, but maybe a day or 2. I want to hear all good buzz about J-Mo. And then last thing is 2 guys coming back from injuries. Tracy Walker, who I've heard looks good. And then surprisingly, Levi O is active. So I want to see what is going on with Levi O because we kind of wrote him off a couple of shows ago. We were just like, yeah, I just kind of assume he's never going to play for us. But I guess he's back. So we'll see how that goes. That's it for the Lions. The only thing I have for the other 3 sports teams was I just took a screenshot of the Tigers hitting statistics for the last 30 days, and Riley Green, Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, and Marisnik are all hitting fantastic, and it's nice to see Green, Torque, and Carpenter be the middle of your order and consistently produce. It's just exciting to be reminded of what that could look like with an offense. And it makes me hopeful that we hold on to those guys and build around them sooner rather than later.
Just hold on. Come on. Hell yeah.
Kerry Carpenter.
Torkelson and Green are carrying this team. They're both hitting well. Riley Green has the best batting average at home, I think, in the month of July or the last 3 weeks. That stat was thrown out there. You see Torkelson starting to hit with a little bit more power since the All-Star break. I think he's finding his groove finally in the second half of his sophomore year. So you start seeing a couple pieces here turn the corner. Scooble's pitched well in his 3 starts since he's came back from injury. You have small pieces, but it's still a very long work in progress. I still think we'll be sellers at the deadline because there's no reason to buy in when there's better teams than us once we get in the playoffs.
Yeah. We're at the point, though, where I'm going to be – there's some guys I don't want us to sell because it's like these guys actually could be something. But that's Scott Harris's decisions to make and not mine. It's just nice to see Torkelson have 7 home runs in 30 days. That's nice. It just seems like every other day you're seeing a torque bomb. Alex could care less, but he'll come around when they start really leaving the yard.
I'm not anti-Torkelson.
That's huge. With that positive momentum, let's move into the snake draft to wrap this thing out. Random number generator. The topic is sporting events. So the best sporting events to attend. As I explained to you guys, it's more of a broadcast. Okay, no, Alex, don't freak out. Best sporting events to watch. It could be anything.
Because I haven't attended all these.
Attend, watch on TV. No, I haven't either. I just put a bunch that I think would be sick and are sick on TV. And again, it's not specific. So it's not like, for example, Alex claimed that the Michigan State football game with Kenneth Walker was the best sporting event in the state of Michigan in the history of the world. You're not picking that game. You'd be picking the rivalry as a whole. Like that event every year is a great event. That's what you'd be picking. Not a specific outcome.
Right?
For you guys, yes. Okay, so I will be number 1 in the system.
Might have a point.
Evan's thinking. Evan is 2. Alex is 3. We're going to hit generate.
3.
3 came up. Alex, what pick do you want?
Number 1.
Okay, Alex is going to go first in the draft. He thinks there's a clear number 1.
Well, I came like my number 1.
I will go 2. I'll go right in the middle of the draft, and Evan, you will be on the turn for 3 and 4 going back.
Yes.
How many picks do we get?
You get 5. There'll be 15 total events drafted. Alex, you start us off with the best sporting event ever.
Event, right?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
I'll
We'll veto it if you're wrong.
March Madness, number 1. The whole event. I want the whole thing.
That is, I think that's fair because I did write that down. Obviously, the question that has to be asked, right, do you have to split up the final 4 or do you get the whole kit and caboodle?
No, I just said I want the whole thing.
I know what you said.
You can have it.
Fine.
Thank you.
I'm not arguing with you. I don't want to see somebody fly on camera.
That's a really good pick. Alex, what's your favorite thing about March Madness?
Thursday and Friday, the first weekend. Just, I don't know, it's awesome. It's just nonstop, 12 to 12. Can't get enough of it.
I love those little old school graphics that Barstool makes with the throwback logos. And it puts them all, and then you get the gambling lines with the TVs. It's huge. Actually, we can talk about gambling a lot more on the show now going into football season because my job does not restrict me anymore. So love gambling on March Madness.
Love gambling. As a kid, I used to pretend to be sick the first day of March Madness. Like I did it like 6 years in a row. It was awesome.
Do you think after year 1, after year 2, your mom knew, and then
yeah, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "I just don't feel good, Mom." Like,
you put the thermostat under the pillow, warm it all up, and put it.
No,
like, Mom, it's 103.
She just by year 3, she knew what I was doing.
All right. It's my pick. This fell to me right in my lap. It's my clear number 1. I'm taking the Rose Bowl as the best sporting event. My favorite thing about it, thanks for asking, is the sunset going from the 3rd to the 4th quarter. And I also just love the way they do the sidelines. They put so much color. It's just beautiful.
Good pick.
It's the greenest grass in the world as well. Actually, there's another event that might have just as green grass, but Evan might pick that on the turn here.
Well, I guess since I have it left over, I will take Super Bowl just because it's the most popular. Everybody does it. I'll take Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm surprised you did take that.
I would be stupid if I didn't take it. I'm looking for clicks. I'm looking for clicks here. Should be a holiday. Everybody should have that Monday off. Still believe that. And then coming back around, I'm going to take event. I'm going to take the Masters.
Nice. That was a good pick.
Talk
Evan,
about
I
green
think you
grass
could
there.
have.
I don't even have another event ready.
I would have respected you if you did not take the Super Bowl, because I do think there's some gripes with it that as I get older, I just get more annoyed about. But you're right; it is the crown jewel of our favorite sport, so that's fair. Back to me.
I think I'm going to run away with this. This is so easy.
I have 2 options left in my
Only
tier
2?
tier 1, and then I have a huge tier 2.
Mine
But
list
they're
is, I did no research. I'm fucked.
God, they're kind of ballsy picks. I think I'm gonna go with 1 because I think the other one I can get later. I'm gonna take this, and it's also recency bias. The World Cup. The World Cup stops everything, and it's the most global.
You can have it. As soon as USA is eliminated, don't care. Don't watch a single second.
I mean, it's the most popular sport in the entire world. That should be
I'm banking on the audience being like, "Yeah, I do get into it," and I'm
what?
blinded by
Right.
Messi last one with Mbappe and everything was just cinema. So I'm taking World Cup.
Oh,
Alex, you get 2 picks, and he didn't do any homework.
I did not.
And he doesn't watch sports.
No, I don't.
He doesn't.
You
have to pick the Open.
I would.
That would be such a bad pick. He's so bad.
I feel like I should pick golf because I do love golf.
That will not get drafted. There's no way the Open gets
The Open
picked.
would not. I would pick something else before that.
Because it's not that good of a tournament.
I have 2 other golf things besides the Open.
I'm just gonna. I don't know what to do.
Oh my god! Damn.
Is there one that I'm missing that's obvious?
No, I was just watching Torkelson's ground ball double. The center fielder didn't know what he was doing. It bounced right in front of him. Torkelson hit the ball on the warning track, was 3 feet away from hitting a walk-off home run.
Oh,
so did they win?
No.
Nope, they're down 1-1. It's extra innings right now.
I guess I'll just fucking.
If you wing it and throw out one of mine picks, I'm gonna freaking
Yeah.
I'll take the Kentucky Derby.
Good pick, Alex.
Oh, yeah. Great pick, Alex. It's like,
Don't take one of my other ones.
I'll take another.
Alex has a
one
horrible
for you
pick.
guys. I know. I didn't know.
I'm sure it could be fun to attend, but that is not a good TV event.
People
is
talk about it
second.
as like the coolest thing to go to, and the
It
first
is.
thing you
Some
said
people
was
say
attend in
do it.
person.
Jack Harlow's always there. I know that.
Dave Portman's always there.
Dave Portman's always
so
there.
you want me to take something really shitty? Let's try to win worst draft.
Just don't take.
No,
any
you had a
line
good,
that I
great
have
first
on
pick.
here. Please.
Just focus, Alex, please.
I'm trying.
Pick with your heart, okay?
Just pick. It's all right. I got options. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. My top tier.
Pick with my heart, Grant says. Well, fine. I love the Ryder Cup. I'm taking that for myself.
That's a solid pick. I had that as one of my other golf choices.
Good pick.
Every 2 years, right? No, 4. Is that one 4?
Grant. There's
No,
a Ryder
seriously.
Cup, President's Cup.
Presidents every 2?
No. They
Then
rotate.
do we just tell me the answer?
It's 4.
Okay.
There's
It feels
one
like
every
2.
2 because there's a
Okay.
President's Cup and there's a Ryder's Cup.
So March Madness, Kentucky Derby, Ryder Cup.
Wow,
I got
that's a
Rose
bad
Bowl, World Cup. I have one more in my tier 1, but I'm so confident it'll slip that I'm going to get crazy and take something else. I need to dip into the biggest sport in our country. I'm going to take Conference Championship Weekend in the NFL. That is a great event on the
Bad
sports
pick.
calendar because you have 4 usually fantastic teams, and the another great thing about that not to degrade Evan's Super Bowl pick is that you get home crowds, which is massive for those games because it's really, really intense in those stadiums.
Yeah, that's a bad pick.
Well, I don't care what you think.
I know. Also, I meant to say the Ryder Cup is every 2, the President's every 2, so it's every 4 is both. I got it all.
Oh, I was
confused.
right.
Yeah, it's every 2. It's because they are doing 2 in a row. And
Everything's
I
coming
got
up, Grant.
confused.
That's huge. That's huge. Evan, you get 2 picks in a row.
2 picks. Here we go. I'm moving the draft right here. First pick, I'm taking the Indy 500.
I don't know. That one didn't give me on my seat.
excited. Can't say
You need to
that.
call- you need to call
everyone
Luke
says that they
and do
go.
a sales
Yep.
pitch.
Luke is one of my main reasons for picking this. He says it's a great
He
time.
does.
It's,
He does talk
energy.
it up.
Huge.
I passed
He's
up
been
the
trying
opportunity to
get
go.
out
I
tonight.
should've
Last like
went.
3 years to go. It's tough because it's on Memorial Day weekend, so you have Memorial Day racing,
going next year.
tailgating. Okay, so
I'm
Indy
committing.
500,
I'm out on faster horses. I'm in on Indy 500 next year.
separate times, they don't overlap.
Trade
Don't
off.
worry about that. Okay.
Trade off.
And then the next one I'm going to take is the Army Navy game. Football every single year.
Well, you know my thoughts on that. I gotta bite my tongue, or else I can
Listen, I like the Army Navy game.
accused
But I
of being a
don't,
communist.
You are a communist.
It's just
you
bad
sure you don't
football.
want the New York City Marathon?
Yep.
Evan, if you don't have, I don't think I'm going to take what your 5th pick should be, but if you don't have this as your 5th pick, I think you're an absolute fraud. No pressure.
The Stanley Cup.
Alex, no, and stop
Well, it's
tipping
not an event.
picks.
It's a bunch of games, so it's hard to say that it's an event. Like I'm not going to pick
On this
it's
top
hard to pick
100
the
list,
World Series.
it's number 2.
I think that counts as an event. I
I
know
would
what
look
you're
at
saying
it.
with a bunch
the
of
NHL
games.
Winter Classic's not going to be on my list. I'm not picking it because it's lost.
That would be
its
so
luster
bad.
after So many.
That would be such a bad.
But I just in case it changes your 5th pick, I think you can take the finals of something as a because it is kind of like an event. I understand what you
Evan,
mean.
you
by
should
7
take the
games.
NFL draft with how much you love it.
Alex, you're such a like you just don't understand the rules.
Well, it's because I'm not going to take it, and I know you're not going to take it, so why not discuss
Well,
it?
we might have to ban you from further snake drafts
Oh,
because that
nah.
is what I was telling Evan that he
I
had to
know.
take at 5.
I was looking through this list. It was at number 56. And I was like, oh.
You're the worst. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Well, like I said, I don't want to double up on NFL, although that would be a great pick. I'm looking at a few others. I have college football. I have soccer. Ooh. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to take something that I would like to attend personally. I'm going to take the Waste Management Open. I think this has got a lot of buzz recently. I think it's a place to party.
That's an attend. Yes.
You can be loud.
A
The 16th
watch.
hole.
I don't know.
I think what they've done there, they get big names to play there. I think they've built a great sporting event. The only thing that you can detract from it is it typically aligns with Super Bowl weekend, but in this case, it helped because they're in the same city this year. So that's my golf.
Good
I don't
pick,
love it.
man. I'm going to take one for clicks and for fans. I'm going to take Michigan, Ohio State.
That is so disingenuous. I hate
Just-
you. You're my least favorite person in this draft.
For clicks. I'm going to take that.
You are such a piece of crap.
It's about winning, Grant.
You don't mean that at all. Like you don't mean a single part
I
of
do
that.
watch it every year, and I do enjoy watching it. I can't
No,
say I
you
don't.
snooze fester. I was like, oh, this game stinks.
I've never not watched it.
It's impossible for Michigan to win. Why even watch?
Always watch it.
All right, finish your team, you piece of shit. NFL draft, you had to say it.
I should just fucking take that too.
You could. That'd be an ultimate heel move.
Well, I thought of it, so I think it makes sense. NFL draft, I'm taking that top.
Oh no. That's a really good 5th round pick. That's become a massive event in our society.
And, I really evened my team out pretty good.
Okay. I played the cards right. That one in my first tier is still sitting there. I have to take it because even though I don't really follow the sport closely, when there's one of these, there's a different buzz in the air, and it's a big UFC fight night. Those are awesome to watch with friends and gamble
What's on the
on
list?
and watch people get absolutely knocked out. So I'm going to round out.
I've heard on
With a
multiple
big-
podcasts that is like a event in person that cannot be beaten, which is great.
Sounds like we need to go sometime.
One of our friends is getting married. We could go to a UFC fight in Las Vegas for a bachelor party
That would be sick.
and then fight people after. Because that's how charged up everyone gets.
Hell yeah. That'd be problematic for you. Evan, take us home.
football is king, so I'm going to pick, I think, one of the most underrated, but I do love the rivalry. I'm going to pick the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma. Visually appealing. Recently, it's been an instant classics.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the best trophies in all of college football. And every single year, it's during the Texas State Fair in the same city. So it's not just the football game. You always have the fair. I'm a naturally born Texas fan at heart. I love Colt McCoy, so I always have a tendency to cheer for Texas. So rooting interest in that. And I was picking football over my other last best option.
That's a great pick, Evan.
What was your backup option?
Well, Grant will say the ones that didn't make it, and then that's when I will give it. So,
well, aren't we there? The draft's over.
No, I wanted to toot Evan's pick a little bit. That the golden little cowboy hat is fantastic.
It's one of the best
State
helmets.
Fair is cool. They love that they play in the Cotton Bowl. Great color matchups. It's always like 150 combined points in that game. The only negative you can say is they had to go PC and stop calling it the Red River Shootout. To me, it'll always be the shootout because it is a shootout because of how many points. It's just a showdown now, but still an incredible rivalry. And people get absolutely hammered, blamed at that because you got State Fair next door. Get an elephant here, drunk after the game.
Corn dogs.
Yeah. It would be cool to walk out of the game hammered and just have a bunch of fair food in your face.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I can't wait to go.
Honorable mentions.
The Olympics.
No, that's a terrible pick.
People love that. People love the
Yeah.
Olympics. They do.
I find it vastly overrated.
I don't know, I remember watching the Beijing Olympics. That was cool.
That's the only cool year. Evan, what was your backup?
I had Daytona 500.
Yeah, you would have doubled up
racing
on racing.
Just doesn't
if you
get
put
it done
that
for
one in
me,
there.
but I can see
For
why
you
people
guys,
like it.
it's super popular. It's the biggest race.
The
every
Cabas
single
family
year.
watches races.
I don't watch all of it, but no, Ryan does.
Ryan does. Yeah.
All my tier 1s were gone, so good job by us. My tier 2s that were left, I did put Michigan MSU for the Pander pick, but I didn't have the heart to take it. A better rivalry that I actually look forward to every year is LSU Alabama. That's also a little recency bias, but when Burrow was playing them, that was like stop everything you're doing and make sure you watch that game. It was even really good last year too. It was like a LSU won on a walk-off like 2-point conversion or something like that.
I was in Birmingham watching.
And then I put down the three other main sports: the NBA Finals, World Series, and Stanley Cup Finals made my list, but I didn't feel super passionate of taking them.
My little recency bias in College World Series is on my list. In Omaha, baseball guy.
Yeah,
that's on my list. I wrote Game 7s for baseball and hockey on there, just because I think they're more intense than some other sports. I'm not the biggest NBA fan, so I didn't put that on there. I have Big Ten basketball tournament. A little self-biased just because I've attended one before, and it is a pretty good event for a pretty quality basketball all day. I actually attended it twice. First one sucked. Second one, very fun time.
First one was COVID, and
we lost the first game, so you turn around and come back.
But that's when you got hammered at Wild Beaver.
That was the first time I was at Wild Beaver Saloon. It's a very good time. Yes.
Iowa State wrestling meet at Iowa is number 49 on this list.
What is this? What list are you reading?
The Belmont Stakes.
No.
The British Open should be mentioned.
No.
It's a great event. The U.S. Open, great event. The majors in golf. Could I have just taken that? The majors in golf.
No, because they're broken down. Masters stands above the rest.
It does.
So, Alex, you had March Madness, the Kentucky Derby, the Ryder Cup, versus OSU, and the NFL Draft.
Winner.
That's actually a pretty good draft, but you pandered so hard. Like, those are such disingenuous picks.
I love the NFL Draft, and I love the Ryder Cup, and I love March Madness.
Yeah, there's two in there that you really don't care about.
Correct, but
Rose Bowl,
things for clicks.
World Cup, Conference Championship Weekend, Waste Management Open, big UFC Fight Night. The only thing I wish I would have done maybe is done divisional round, because that's arguably as good, if not better. Because
those were your personal biases of the NFL rounds. Like, we all like them, but I don't think people would take them.
I don't know. I mean, I like the divisional round and conference championship round better than the Super Bowl every year, unless like the Lions were.
Yeah, because there's more games. Super Bowl. We love more.
But wild card
society
stinks.
Is more. Yeah.
Well, no, I say wild card stinks. And that's the most games. And then Evan had heavy hitters, Super Bowl, Masters, Indy 500, Army, Navy, Texas, Oklahoma. Do you think the two college rivalries could hurt you?
Yes, because in our areas they're not the most popular, which they should be idolized a little bit more. I mean, I support the troops. The Army Navy game is a standalone game by themselves. Season's over with. And then Red River rivalry. It's one of those games that everyone's like, "Oh, it's just another rivalry," but Texas State Fair, man. Texas State Fair.
It's always early in the year, too. It like kicks off.
Yeah,
rivalry.
beginning of October, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys didn't want Wimbledon? There's a lot of buzz about Wimbledon
No,
these days.
I got
Absolutely
pissed
not.
off this year trying to watch daytime television, and the only thing on ESPN is tennis in a
Heard
foreign
the
country
final
during
was
the 4th of
like
July.
elite.
Little League World Series back when the Georgia team played Japan and won. Electric.
No. The Tour de
All right.
France?
No, dude. Get out of here.
Dude,
Man
the
U,
guy
Man
did it, or
City?
two-time.
That actually could be okay pick, but
You could have champions.
Champions League final?
Champions League. Yeah.
yeah, that's always so stressful, and the usually scores are 1-0.
The final day
okay.
of the Premier League? That should have been a pick. That is crazy. God, I love that day.
That is this week's show. Keep an eye out for any draft graphics. Please, again, subscribe on YouTube. Tell a friend to subscribe. Tell your family to subscribe, even if they don't listen. 5 stars, please. And we will see you next time we record. Cheers to episode 127.
Cheers. The
And
Tigers
to,
lost 7-6.
Cheers.
to Oppenheimer.